What if your biggest miracle begins with the smallest thing you have? What if the answer to your prayer is already in your hands? Today we'll discover one of the most inspiring stories in the Bible. A story that proves God can do extraordinary things with ordinary people. One day, thousands of people followed Jesus into a quiet place because they wanted to hear his words and witness his miracles. As the day grew late, the crowd became hungry. There were no restaurants, no markets, no food. The disciples looked at the crowd and said, "Lord, send the people away so they can buy something to eat." But Jesus answered with words that surprised them. "You give them something to eat." The disciples were confused. How could they feed thousands of people? They searched the crowd and found only one small lunch, 5 loaves of bread, 2 fish. It belonged to a young boy. Imagine being that boy. He could have kept his lunch. He could have thought, "What difference can my little meal make?" But instead, he gave everything he had to Jesus. It wasn't much in human eyes, but in God's hands it became more than enough. Jesus took the bread. He looked toward heaven. He gave thanks. Then he broke the bread and handed it to the disciples. The disciples began giving food to the people. Something incredible happened. The bread never ran out. The fish never disappeared. Every time they reached into the baskets, there was more. 5,000 men were fed, not counting the women and children. When everyone had eaten, Jesus told the disciples to gather the leftovers. They filled 12 baskets. Think about that. The boy gave one small lunch. God returned 12 baskets of leftovers. Many people believe God can only use those who are rich, talented, or famous. But this story teaches something different. God doesn't ask you to have everything. He asks you to trust him with what you already have. Maybe all you have is a small dream, a little faith, a broken heart, a simple prayer. To the world, it may seem too small, but nothing is small when it's placed in God's hands. God specializes in multiplying what we surrender to him. The greatest miracles often begin with simple obedience. The little kindness you show today, the prayer you whisper, the Bible verse you share, the encouragement you give someone. God can use all of it to change lives. Never underestimate what God can do through someone who is willing. Perhaps you've been saying, "I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. I'm too late." Remember the little boy. He wasn't the strongest person there. He wasn't the leader. He wasn't a disciple. He simply offered what he had. And because of that act of faith, he became part of one of the greatest miracles recorded in Scripture. Your future isn't determined by what you lack. It's determined by what you place in God's hands. So don't wait until you have more. Start with what you have today. God can multiply faith. He can multiply hope. He can multiply opportunities. He can even multiply your purpose. The question is not, do I have enough? The real question is, am I willing to trust God with what I have? If this message encouraged you, remember this: God has never needed perfect people. He has always worked through willing hearts. Whatever you're carrying today, place it in His hands. Your small beginning may become someone else's miracle. Thank you for watching. May God bless you, strengthen your faith, and remind you that nothing placed in His hands is ever too small. See you in the next video.